Milton. Milton would like to talk to us. Hello, Milton.
Hello, guys. How are you doing?
Super cool.
How are you doing?
Hello.
Well, Shannon, I want you to know I totally love you. I follow you on Twitter.
Oh.
And
I'm
Dr.
sorry.
Ben, I've heard you before. And so anyway, it's an honor to talk to you. I have a little situation that this might be a little just therapy for myself. I don't know.
Okay.
But the thing is that I was a former missionary of 30 years, a member of the Koji Project. And my wife is still a believer, and that's fine. You know, out of the 1,200 plus members of the Katy Project, we're one of the few fundamentalists who are still married. We were in fundamentalism before that. But anyway, we're in a situation now to where my mother-in-law, you know, she beat breast cancer, she beat vaginal cancer, she beat stomach cancer. And now she's 79 years old, and she's finally succumbing to stomach cancer once again. And so she's stage 4. You know, it's growing into her back and her neck. And so my wife has been in Texas for the last 6.5 months, and we've been apart through that time because I can't go there because they're afraid if I go there, maybe that I'll give her COVID, and that would, kind of end the story. So anyway, so the thing is that it's just a matter of time. But of course, I'm considered the family minister because my wife is still a Christian, so no one in our family knows that I no longer believe. And so I'm expected to do the funeral. Now, I love my mother-in-law. I love her. She's been more of a mother than my mother ever was to me. But the thing is that, and I am going to honor her memory, and I'm going to do what's right. The thing is that I'm going to have to stand in front of people for the first time in 12 years and lie, you know, because even though I'm honoring my mother-in-law and honoring my wife, I don't believe in what I'm going to present, and it's really caused some major problems. Sometimes I have trouble sleeping. You know, and it's just, this will just be the first time that I have to do this, and I'm going to do it. I know I'll do it. I can't refuse it because my family expects it. But at the same time, it's just, it's just the hardest thing for me to come to grips with standing in front of people and lying. And so anyway, I'm just looking for some advice, some opinion, or maybe some comfort. I don't know. But at the same time, it's one of those things to where this is one of the hardest situations I've ever had to deal with in my life. And so anyway, just this. There you go.
Wow, that is a lot. That is a lot. Is there a way? So you're doing this to meet expectations and to honor your mother. Is there a way that you can do it, I suppose, without outing yourself in an uncomfortable circumstance that would incorporate others to do the things like the prayers and the readings that allowed you to feel as though you're still being honest to yourself by not preaching the religion, but allow the religion to be incorporated via other people to do those aspects of it, and you focus in on the memory of her and her life and that type of celebration? Is there a way that you can sort of tune up what you're intending to do so that you're both not lying and celebrating?
No. I said I really wish I can do that, but when you're dealing with fundamentalists, there's no, it's the doctrine, it's everything, and so if I get down and water it down, it's going to be kind of a disrespect to my mother-in-law, and my wife would know that for sure because she knows I'm an atheist, and so right. It's just we're not talking about like a liberal religion. We're not talking about a mid. We're talking about people who are far on the right. And anyway, I'm sorry. I hope this is something that it's just something I'm going through, and I'm just looking for encouragement if that makes any sense at all. But at the same time, it's just it's going to be really hard to stand up there and lie.
No, I can completely respect it. You don't need to apologize. This is something difficult to grapple with, and you having a conversation with us about it, and so in so much as we can attempt to help, may help somebody else as well. So it's worthwhile. So there's no need to apologize. I was never an evangelical, nor do I have a great deal of exposure to understand how those funeral services would work. I mean, I could share my story a little bit, I suppose. Like, I just went through my father's funeral. I mean, I'm not a preacher, so I didn't actually have to stand up there myself, preaching the gospel to the people, but I did have to select an officiant. And I had to go through the process of selecting an officiant, a religious officiant, because the funeral wasn't for me. It was for everybody, and needed to respect what he would have wanted. So I kind of disassociated myself from that being something that I didn't want, because it wasn't just about me in that moment. It was about me, but it was about me as a part of a group of people that were grieving together, which was the most important thing. Perhaps you can, instead of preaching as though this is me saying these things, you can say the Bible says these things. There's ways that you can tune up your vernacular so that it's not really lying, it's more relaying information. So there's different rhetorical strategies that you could utilize if this is something that you feel you need to do, and the struggle is that you would feel like you were lying to yourself. There's ways to utilize rhetorical strategies so that you're relaying that information instead of preaching that information. That might be one way to go about doing it, if this is something that you absolutely feel compelled to do. Would that be something that might work?
Yeah, that definitely. And thank you so much for your point of view there. It's just that for me personally, I just don't want to get up and dishonor my mother-in-law. I don't want to dishonor my wife, and my wife would know if I was not 100% presenting what her mother wanted, and so that's what so that's the dilemma. I can say the Bible says this, but I need to do it in a way that I'm also honoring my wife as well as my mother-in-law. And so that, I guess that's what's just so stressful.
You matter too in this situation, though, right? So you're leaving yourself out of the equation. And I understand that in this situation, you need to be significantly more empathetic to your wife and her family as they're grappling and going through this. But you do matter too, and you are in this equation. And I respect that you have an eye towards making sure that you're doing what they perceive is right by them. And I'm sorry that you're in that situation. And I hope that you can find a way to get through those moments without feeling like you're being dishonest to yourself.
Hey, and thank you for that. And once again, I said this just might be and you've definitely given me some points of thought, and maybe of course I've written 3,000 sermons in my life, so I can probably take some of your advice there. But the thing is that, and I said this is probably somewhat a therapy session for me, but I'm sure that many of the people in the listening who are listening to this has never heard of this particular situation, and so I thought that it was something that would be not only helpful for me, but people also listening. So,
yeah, no, I think it's great. I appreciate you calling to be able to share that with other people. We do have to let you go, though. We have one more call on the line before we go. But Milton, I very much appreciate you calling in.
Thank you, Shannon.
And good luck. Thoughts are with you.
Thank you.
You're welcome. That's such a hard situation to be in.
Yeah, I can't even imagine.
Yeah, me either.